So when you start out, I like to use the example of 32, wish I was 32 again. And, I have $25,000. I've decided, okay, I'm going to invest $25,000 instead of buying a really nice car. And so I take that 25, I invest it into multifamily syndication. And then when I'm 37, I now have $50,000.
Right.
And then I take my 50,000 at 37 and I reinvest that. And at 42, I now have 100,000.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Hey everyone, welcome to the Real Estate Pros Podcast. I'm your host, Micah Johnson, and today I'm joined by Cindy, who's been making some serious moves in the real estate industry for quite some time now. Cindy, welcome in. Glad to have you.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me today. It's great
I'm
to be
excited.
here.
Oh, I'm excited for you to be here. I think our listeners are really going to take something away from, one, how passionate you are about what you do. I love the energy that you have about it. And then two, just the value of really a syndication world that most don't understand, and how you can start leveraging it in your life earlier to really make sure you're creating the life that you want ultimately. So let's dive in on that. For our people who may not know you yet, what's your main focus right now and what markets do you operate in?
Well, my main focus right now is raising capital for multifamily syndications. And people are probably going to say, what is syndication? I get that 99% of the time when people ask me, what do you do? And then they say, how did you get into that? Because it's like, you just don't sit around and say, I'm going to be a capital raiser today for syndications. you know? So, I just started in real estate early. I worked in different avenues of real estate: realtor, office manager, new construction, all of those things. And then I just moved to different real estate investing groups, different masterminds, and just continued to educate myself on real estate. And then you realize, hey, there's this thing called capital raising. And you also realize it's a team effort. And that is one thing that I love about it. I don't do this by myself. I have a team of knowledgeable people. But, I live in the Denver area, but I really don't do a lot of capital raising here. Most of the markets that I work with my teams are in like North Carolina, South Carolina. I have a property in Mississippi, Petersburg, Virginia, Cincinnati. So those areas that are areas where people are moving to and renting. Colorado is kind of in a, a turmoil market right now, but I won't go into that. But that's a whole nother discussion, a whole nother interview, right? But those other markets is where rent is at a good level for people to live their lives, and they can still do things. You know what I mean? It's just it's a good place to be for those types of properties.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Well, it's one of the benefits too about when you're getting into that higher level real estate world where you're doing multifamily, and that's a different asset class than most even get into, where the nation starts to become your playground, where it really matters where the deal pencils. I knew a lot of folks that they didn't buy deals over the past couple of years in that space because it was just getting harder and harder to pencil deals, finding things that price was right. Because I mean, any investment, got to get it at the right price. You said it in the pre-call. You make all your money at the buy, and it is completely true. If you start behind the 8 ball there, it ain't getting better. You're not going to recover later.
Mhm. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, one thing I love about real estate is that growth pattern that lets you find that thing that you enjoy doing in the business, that really lets you be yourself. I call it your emotional paycheck, where you can make a great financial paycheck in real estate. Really, really good. It also has a way to pay you emotional paycheck, which keeps you coming back each time, keeps you doing it, where you start to find that thing that lights you up. 'Cause you mentioned it. You like networking, you belong to multiple groups, and through knowing those folks, it started to lead to this reality of, wait a second, I can actually take this next step. So take us through your day to day a little bit now with what's your day look like in terms of capital raising, any projects you're excited about coming up?
Yeah, I am. I've got one project I'm just finalizing the raise on, and that is in Cincinnati. It's a 3 apartment complex deal. So we're just winding that up with some final reserves. And that's a whole nother piece of vocabulary for multifamily. There's just so many new words for
Yeah,
investors.
right.
And one of the things that I am excited about is that recently, my previous raise that I was in, I brought in 5 new investors who didn't know really anything about multifamily. And that really spoke to my heart because I'm helping educate them in learning that, you don't have to be a landlord. You don't have to manage the day to day, that having a multifamily investment is a good investment to create passive income and to also create a legacy for you and your family because you can have your investment double every 5 years if you do it right with the right team. So when you start out, I like to use the example of 32, wish I was 32 again. And, I have $25,000. I've decided, okay, I'm going to invest $25,000 instead of buying a really nice car. you know, and so I take that 25, I invest it into a multifamily syndication. And then when I'm 37, I now have $50,000.
Right.
And then I take my 50,000 at 37 and I reinvest that. And at 42, I now have 100,000. And, you add the 5 years and then you keep
Right.
doubling. And right around 60 ish, 65, you're going to have about $400,000 that you've doubled over every 5 year period. And it could be a little less, could be a little bit more. We like to use that as a standard. We say 3 to 5. Well, if the market's really good, they might be able to turn that property a little more quickly. But basically you can see how it works. And I mean, you can literally just start with 25,000 as long as you just keep it in there and you keep rolling it over and rolling it over. So I really like to educate people about that, teach them the different words that go with multifamily, like reserves and NOI and things like that. Things that sound boring, but actually are creating wealth for you. And wealth is not boring.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
No, not at all. And it's the nuts and bolts stuff, right? It's the part that you're not supposed to know if you're not in the industry. And being someone who can take that language and then help other people understand it, especially in a way that changes their life, it gives them access to the real estate market. Because in the end, there's not too many ways to make passive income in real estate, but there are a few. And that is definitely one of them where you already have a job. You're already doing stuff full time. You've got those things. However, you're thinking about your future. You're thinking about your family. You're trying to set yourself up. And syndications is a way for you to take that money and put it out there, get it working for you. I came from the medical field before I got into real estate, and there was an anesthesiologist I used to work with who he was very big into investing. And he'd always say, Micah, every dollar is an employee. You just need to think about it that way. Every dollar you get's an employee. And especially as I grew in the real estate industry years later, I'd think about him telling me that. I'm like, I see what he was saying now about
Yeah.
how to get that money back into the system, how to keep it working for you. You can either spend it and it's gone, or use it a certain way where you're just putting it away for later. And like you said, having the ability to get into it at an earlier age and not having to do it full time. That's one that gets a lot of folks that start getting in, because you said you started with single or had some single family properties in your past. That's not passive. It's not. There's a lot of stuff that goes on, and you can't
Nope.
really get property management involved until you're at least to maybe 8 to 10, somewhere in there. It starts to make sense. Most folks buy a house one every year. Like, it's not like you can have money. So it's like, what are you going to do? Another full-time job for 8 years until you have that
Mhm.
ability to put this next person. And so I love how you're showing folks, all right, let's try a different way. So let's dig on that syndication word real quick, just so folks that are listening, make sure, because there's another type of financing or another type of capital raise that's it's opposite. Can you explain the difference between them for us?
A different kind of capital raise is opposite.
Well, you were explaining it earlier about in our pre-call where you believe in syndications more than another version, and I wanted
Yeah.
to tease out that version.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I did raise capital for some other multifamily, and it wasn't through syndication. It was just some investors, and there were supposed to be returns, within a year or two. Not even a year or two. It was probably more like a year because the market was really good. And it was like, okay, we can turn these buildings much more quickly. But the market changed, the market went down. And the positive thing about syndication is that you can work through the cycles. And so if you have a down year or two and you're planning on holding, if the operator is planning on holding the property 3 to 5 years and the investor already knows that, then they're fine. But
Right.
when you have an investor who's thinking, oh, I'm just going to invest this for a year and the market was good and then it changes, they aren't as happy. But, when you can turn around after that 3 to 5 years and give them what you promised, then that is much better. So I really feel like the syndication model works better. I started out early not using the syndication model, and I am sorry that I did it that way. So I really think it's much safer this way.
That is thinking out the gate when you're syndicating. This the GPs are going to hold the property for 3 to 5 years. So you're already going out of the gate knowing that money's going out and it's not supposed to come back quickly, which allows you, like you're saying, to look at the market in a way where some of the most stressed out people I know are the ones that watch Wall Street every day because it's
Yeah.
just blah, 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 right. Where when you know you got space that it can have its thing, like I've heard this statement growing up or growing through real estate, and it's not always true, but it's sometimes true that the difference between a bad deal and a good deal is just time. If you
Yeah.
wait long enough, for something, it always appreciates. There's a way that you can wait yourself out to where it does come back. You may not enjoy it, but that fact that time and real
Yes.
estate are best friends. And one of my favorite quotes in real estate is it's the best get rich slow scheme out there. And when you approach it that way,
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
it's what you're doing. It is that true building wealth through a very specific process.
Right. And when people think I'm going to get rich quick, that's when they need to rethink it.
Hmm.
So I totally agree on that.
Right. Right. It's not a speed thing. You still want to have money 3 years from now too, don't you? 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 20 years. That's where I always talk to people like it's okay to think in those longer terms because you're still gonna be doing it. What are you planning? You just want one deal and you're gonna get out? Even if you nail it, what's that gonna last you? 4 years, maybe 5 years for the lifestyle you want to
Right.
have? Like it's not you're not trying to hit home runs. You're trying to hit singles and doubles for years. And the more singles and doubles you hit, the longer you're in the game, the more home runs you're going to have because they naturally come around. They don't just happen. It's not a luck thing. It's just by participating in the game long enough. And I've seen folks get knocked out because all they're trying to do is hit home runs. That's it. They're taking huge swings. And it's, hey, chill out. The best in the business. If you go meet the pros, the groups that you're talking about that you go to, you will see it is not hope ain't their strategy because it's not one. It's a very
Mhm.
methodic process of what they're doing, how they're processing the information, what the data actually means. And one thing that you're passionate about that I am too is the education part. Education is the most important part of real estate, knowing what's going on because one, it changes a lot. You're in a fast moving environment, especially when you're nationwide. You're going from market to market. If for those that are out there and don't understand this, real national real estate statistics they kind of matter, but really it is a market by market thing and nothing is just a blanket statement in this industry.
Definitely. I totally agree on that. And that's why I don't necessarily raise capital and have multifamily in Denver.
Right.
So, yeah, because other markets are a little bit better right now.
Let's dive into you mentioned a team aspect earlier, and one of the things that you have as a team, and you make sure that you work with good teams. What is it that makes a good team? And how does that help your business stay consistent and successful?
I think that a good team is someone that really, the team that communicates well together and to the investors. Even when things aren't going well, hopefully they are, but I'm just saying in case they're
Yeah.
not,
Real estate.
you definitely need to communicate. Yeah. And you need to let them know, hey, this is what's not going right. Here's how we're going to fix it. We're going to pivot this way. But then also on the good things, hey, guess what? Your returns are going to be a little bit higher
Yeah.
because we did this, right?
Right.
And I used an example earlier about an investment that I'm in and brought investors in. We had a fire, and everybody was like, oh my gosh, you just brought me into this investment. Now we had a fire. And because we had the right team with the right experience who knows how to handle this and knew how to pivot, they handled it better than I ever anticipated. And I think it's going to actually be a home run for everyone. So you just got to make sure you have teams who have experience, who can pivot, who can communicate, who are trustworthy, and that they do what they say they're going to do. So I think that's important. And I have met several teams that I work with, and when they find a property that they feel the numbers are working, they call me and they say, hey, here's the pitch deck. what do you think? I think this is a great deal and we're going to, purchase it. Now we need some capital. Can you bring us some investors? And so that's what I do is I go out, educate people on multifamily syndication and the different opportunities that I have and that are brought to me with my different teams.
It makes complete sense too, especially with the fire scenario. Like what could have but had folks who don't know what's going on throwing their hands in the air has the folks who know what's going on saying, "Okay, this might actually be an opportunity. Wait a second. What did actually happen? What can we do?" And that is what makes the most effective real estate professional. Like you said, great values, really good at communication, and no problem is a throw your hands in the air problem. It's a, okay, hold on. How do you do this? So what? So now what? That's one of my favorite questions. Okay, so now what?
Yeah.
What is that next thing? It's not because again, real estate's not easy. You're gonna, especially if you're in it for a long time, you're gonna hit the bumps, you're gonna hit the bruises. But like you're saying, anybody that will communicate clearly with you about what's going on, one, they're definitely the kind of people to work with. Making sure you're with high quality people in the industry is very important. Actually, that makes me think of a question. For someone that's listening that could be talking to somebody about a syndicate right now, someone asking them, "Hey, we want you to get money." What are some questions they should be asking that capital raiser to make sure, "Hey, I want to know I'm working with someone that's high quality."
Yeah. You want to find out um, how many buildings they've actually closed on, how many syndications they how many um I'm trying to find the word and I've lost the word. There's a 3 to 5 year cycle. Thank you. That's what I'm trying to say. How many cycles they've been through. Now everybody has to start somewhere,
Right.
so maybe they haven't been through a cycle, but you can talk to them about, okay, let's say we had this situation. What would you do? So you've got to find out, where their mindset is. Are they only focused on one thing? It's like asking a fix and flipper, okay, what are we going to do if the numbers go wrong? Oh, we're just going to fix and flip and take a loss. No, maybe we're going to have to turn it into a longer term rental for a while or some other, option. So you want to find out what options they're thinking they might need to do. Of course, the experience. Um, you want to find out, about their background, maybe even get a reference. Sometimes you can find out, and it doesn't have to be in that field. Maybe they worked for another company and they did something else, but
Right.
they've decided to pivot their life. But usually, a person who is doing well in one area and has decided to pivot is normally, in general, right, going to do well in the next area that they go into. So, and you want to see what associations they're in, I guess, not necessarily associations or just different groups, who they're associated with, and you can easily just do that by looking at social media. People will post
Yeah.
things on social media they shouldn't post. And so those are some of the things that I would look at. I have a list of about 40 questions, and of course I can't remember them all right now, but I actually do have a list of questions. And on my Petersburg deal, I did have one of my investors. I think she might have gone on Chat GPT, but she put in there, what are the questions that I should ask should I ask this potential operator that I'm going to invest in? And we answered every single one, and I kept that. And I told her, thank you. I really appreciate this because this actually helped us realize what questions we need to answer.
Yeah. Right, the ones that actually matter, because that's the biggest difference in a pitch deck is you can think it's awesome, but if it doesn't convey the information that they wanna hear, which is usually it's not the recipe. We love to give the recipe. People just want the soup. They don't wanna know how to make the soup. So the making sure that information gets all the way across the line. I love that. Now, last thing before we go, you're getting ready to start teaching a class too, right? What classes do you have coming up?
Yeah, I have a local group that I'm a member of, and I am looking forward to teaching classes just about syndication and educating people on the basics. Why do we need reserves? Why, what is an acquisition fee? Why are we holding it 3 to 5 years? because we're doing value add. What does value add mean? What does net operating income mean? What does that do to the value of the building? And how does that increase my investment? So, all of those things are things you need to know before you just jump in and invest.
If they're listening or watching and want to, learn more about you and follow along with what you have going on, what's the best way for them to find you?
Yeah, the name of my company is Emerald Peak Solutions, and I do have a website, emeraldpeaksolutions.com, and I do have a free ebook there that has a lot of this information. I am on social media. I'm under my name, Cindy Beier, Beier, like buyers and sellers, on LinkedIn, and I have Instagram at Emerald Peak Solutions. I'm not sure the exact name. My social media person does that for me, right? One of my team
Oh,
members.
Steve.
And I have a Facebook group or a Facebook page, also Emerald Peak Solutions. I am sure if you put it in, you'd find me. So
It'll
I
find.
have a green background and, a logo that is a house with a little dime green or green emerald, excuse me. I just love emeralds, but green is also the color of money. So,
There you go. That's how you know her. Well, we'll make sure the
yep.
links that you just said are in the show notes for everybody listening. Check out Cindy, follow along with what she has going on. If you want to learn more about one of the projects, reach out to her, touch base with her if that's something that you're interested in. Finding true professionals in the business that are willing to shoot you straight, that's who you want to look for. Cindy, thanks again for being on. Really appreciate your time, your story, your perspective. I think we need more folks out there doing it like you the right way, teaching, educating, showing folks how to change lives while you're also doing it yourself. So, so thanks again for being with us. For everybody listening, if you got value out of this episode, please like this episode, share it with somebody else you think would get value out of it. As always, please don't forget to subscribe. We appreciate every single one of you that's following along out there with us. We have more conversations coming up with operators just like Cindy out there building real businesses in the industry. Thanks for watching. We'll see everybody on the next episode.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.